All right, friends. Well, happy Sunday to you. Hope it's going well for you. I'm having a quiet Sunday at home. Doing an extra navy blue surrender. I continue to have the wonderful problem of there's more music available to listen to than I have time to sit down with it. But this one I wanted to check out. This came out on Friday as well, same day as the new Vince Staples album. I've been loving that album a lot. But I wanted to check this out. Now, apparently, this is the third and final of a trilogy, and I've listened to the other two. So that's kind of cool. But I realized that with Navy Blue, I don't listen to them a lot. I've listened to them some, but not a lot. But one thing I've noticed that when I do listen to them, you really have to pay attention. And I notice, like, if I try and put them on in the car or something like that, my mind starts to wander and I stop paying attention. And so in terms of a trilogy, I'm not going to have a strong recollection of previous songs from the other two albums. That's really all I want to jump out in front of with is just that caveat of if he's referencing the other two, I probably won't remember. Now, this album I already find fascinating because the cover and the title, Surrender, the obvious is surrender. But the double wordplay, sir and render, to me is kind of fascinating because sir, man, whatever. But then render, I'm thinking of something like in terms of a game where the object is rendered and so then it comes into being like visually in the game. And I wonder if the meaning is, the idea of in order to become a man, to be rendered as a man, you have to surrender. And then, let go or whatever. And then like with the cover, it's kind of fascinating because it's like a face either sinking into or coming up out of. I think of a liquid. I think of the liquid metal from Terminator 2. But that's kind of fascinating too because let's say you surrender to it and then you sink in, and then because you surrender, you can now render as a person. Like, I don't know. It's just kind of neat. It's just this back and forth circle thing. You're looking at me like I'm crazy.
A render of something is like a copy.
I'm thinking in a game. In a game.
Wrong.
I'm wrong? Okay. Well, at least it's settled. But anyway, it's 15 songs, 45 minutes. So they're all like 2-3 minute songs, which is kind of cool. There is a Ka verse on here. Billy Woods is on here. Earl Sweatshirt is on here. People have been saying good things about this album. So let's dive in. Let's check it out. Surrender by Navy Blue. The first track is called Commencement. Produced by Jason Wool. Drop it in. Track 1. Here's Commencement. Like a horse-drawn carriage or something. I don't know.
I simply couldn't fathom what it'd take. It's like I was abandoned at the stake. Saw the light and saw my shadow cast a shape when I was cast away to the east. I found gratitude and grace. I claim defeat. I know that I'ma be okay. Surrender taught me peace could be attained. Give thanks for the house that I was raised in. Open palms under calm waves. I had undergone a long phase of self-harm.
A guitar.
Told me focus
it is a guitar.
On my brave heart. When inching closest
from
to my
the strings,
I aim for the stars. Trust it's all in the perspective that I've gained from the scars. I cast a line when fishing out the reservoir. I pass time with deep sighs and interlocking arms. I capsize, then I turn my life over to God. Mama didn't give me life to just pick it apart. Mama told me I'm a light, I was dim in the dark. When I was at his shoulder height and my living was harsh. A sorry doesn't make it right when my hands need a wash. Surrender signed his name under kindest regards. At every single nerve ending, my journey will start. Reflect and let the curve bend and resemble an arc. Protect my only sense of brevity as I embark.
He chose not to struggle anymore. With a supreme act of will springing from the essence of his being, he turned away from his life and the long train of disastrous consequences that had flowed from it, and looked wistfully upon the dark face of ancient waters upon which some spirit had breathed and created him. The dark face of the waters from which he had been first made in the image of a man with a man's obscure need and urge, feeling that he wanted to sink back into those waters and rest eternally.
Fascinating, dude. Cool production. To kind of come out of that weird intro where it's like, I don't know, cobblestone, and there's the bell, and you hear the horse hooves, and then you get into the strings, and then this guitar note comes in, and one thing I'm going to try and focus on is I'm going to try to not try so hard with the lyrics. I feel like the last couple times I've done albums where there's lyrics, like I'm trying so hard, I miss just obvious stuff. So let's just kind of go through this. The outro is great. He chose not to struggle anymore. With a supreme act of will springing from the very essence of his being, he had turned away from his life and the long train of disastrous consequences that it flowed from, and looked wistfully on the dark face of ancient waters of which some spirit had breathed and created him. Let's go through this verse here. I simply couldn't fathom what it'd take. It's like I was abandoned at the stake. And when he says that, I think of, being like burned at the stake or something like that. But it doesn't necessarily have to be burned. Anyway, sought alliance on my shadow, cast a shape when I was cast away to the east. And to the east, I don't know what that would necessarily mean here. I found gratitude and grace. I claimed defeat. I know that I'm going to be okay. I like that line. I claimed defeat. Because so often we run from defeat, right? Defeat is bad. But I mean, so often if you don't succeed at something, if you are defeated, it's not even necessarily a bad thing. It's not even a meaningful thing. Sometimes we struggle so hard against the idea of losing that we don't even realize we're not losing anything anyway. So I like that line. I claimed defeat. I know that I'm going to be okay. Surrender. And I did see something when I was pulling up the lyrics on the summary for the album. I guess surrender is like a character, I think, or of some sort in this album. Anyway, surrender taught me peace could be obtained. To give thanks for the house that I was raised in, open palms under calm waves. I'd undergone a long phase of self-harm. My brother Ocean told me, focus on my brave heart. While inching closest to my hopelessness, I aim for the stars. That's an interesting line, too. While inching closest to my hopelessness, I aim for the stars. Almost feels like a drastic overcorrection type of a thing, rather than just focus on what's right in front of you and just fix the little things right in front of you. Maybe. Trust, it's all in the perspective that I gained from the scars. I cast a line when fishing out the reservoir. I passed time with deep sighs and interlocking arms. I like this line a lot. I capsized, then I turned my life over to God, which is great. That's just a let go right there. Mama didn't give me life to just pick it apart. That's a great one too. Mama didn't give me life to just pick it apart. Mama told me I'm a light. I was dim in the dark. Cool. Let's go to track 2. I know there's only a little bit left. One thing I'm trying to do also is not fry my brain. So there's been a couple people telling me, Bob, you got to listen to another Lupe Fiasco album. You got to do Tetsu, however you say it, Tetsu and Youth. But it's like an hour and 12 minutes or something. And it's Lupe. My brain is going to melt out of my ears trying to go through all of his lyrics. But anyway, that'll be a challenge for another day. Cool opening track. Let's go to 2. It's called Baron, produced by The Alchemist. Very cool. Drop it in. Here's track 2, Baron. Only 2 minutes.
Yeah. Down bad, I'm upright. The sunlight dance. I need one mic. It's one life to live. My loving couldn't die. Transmuting 1 to 9. My tongue tied up in a knot. Like a cherry stem. I forgot what I couldn't find. All along the road, twist, turn. Took the word just to burn it up. Courage in the cut, fume and peep the luminance. It's nothing new. Papa knew me from the other round when we was dealt the truth about a lot of shit. That's when I fell in tune. Serengeti views, open land. When Baba placed the shell in open hands. Left to right, right. My whole lifespan, the whole wide world up in my hands. Soul God man, it's Orpheus versus the Siren.
Orpheus versus the Siren. There's a car reference.
Not alive, man. Alright then. Keep quiet, bend the rules. I'll still admire them for what it is and what it isn't. Guilt-ridden through my problems on the rhythm. Wish it wasn't true, but trust it is. Light jog, I gotta run to live. This is life. I've had enough of me to let them hide. It's on my mind all day. I'm done with getting high. It's like the first time breathing. See it to believe it, 'cause I am what I believe in. Breathe in, breathe out. Take a moment just to be again. Another round, I'm on the ropes. My hope was in a pile by the door. Thoughts would often crowd me and more. Adios, I'm trying to cope. I woke up on the floor.
When I woke up, I was on the floor. On the floor? Yeah, on the floor.
He steadfastly refused to speak. Most of the time, he sat with bowed head, staring at the floor, or he lay full length upon his stomach, his face buried in the crook of an elbow, just as he lay now upon a cot, with the pale yellow sunshine of a February sky falling obliquely upon him.
Cool beat. I'm at a loss with the lyrics. Let's read them, but they're a little abstract. Let's see if I can. Come on, brain. Come on. Come on. Let's rub some brain cells together here. Down bad, I'm upright. Let's click the annotations, because somebody put an annotation here. Let's see what they say. Creates juxtaposition. Yeah, down is the opposite of up, and bad is opposite of right. Yeah, okay. I need one mic, just one life to live. My lovin' couldn't die. Transmuting 1 to 9, my tongue tied up in a knot like a cherry stem. And I understand the cherry stem part in the sense of, like, that's one thing that I remember kids used to do. Like, if you could they would put a cherry in your mouth and you could, like, tie a knot with the stem with just your tongue. But I don't really understand what that reference means, you know? Transmuting 1 to 9, my tongue tied up in a knot like a cherry stem. I don't know. It's okay. I don't have to know everything. Let's rather than mentally strain, right? Let's just try and flow with the lyrics here. I forgot what I couldn't find. All along the road, twist, turn, took the words just to burn it up. Courage in the cut, fume and peak the luminance. There's nothing new. Papa knew me from the other round where we was dealt the truth about a lot of shit. That's when I fell in tomb. Serengeti views, open land, when Baba placed a shell in open hands. Now, I don't know if that means, like, I initially think of like a shotgun shell or something like that. But it could be a seashell, who knows? Left to right, and that part, it echoed the right. So I don't know. My whole life spanned the whole wide world up in my hands. So God mends. It's Orpheus versus the Sirens. That's an album. One of Cause, good friend of Navy Blue. Me and AI, 16 paths. It's not a live band. I then. Keep quiet, bend the rules. I still admire them for what it is or what it isn't. Guilt-ridden. Threw my problems on the rhyme. Wish it wasn't true, but trust it is. Light jog, I gotta run to live. This is life. I've had enough of me, so let them hide. It's on my mind all day. I'm done with getting high. It's like the first time breathing. See it to believe it. Because I am what I believe in. Breathe in, breathe out. Take a moment just to be again. That's kind of an interesting section right through there. Done with getting high. It's like the first time breathing. Like I wonder, in a literal sense, if you stop smoking, like if you smoke a lot and then you stop smoking and your body starts to recover, then and then you realize, oh man, I can breathe so much better. But then also I wonder if there's an element of like a coping mechanism that's happening where, you know, maybe you're struggling with things and so you're smoking or drinking or to like deal with it and you think it's helping, but then when you finally quit, and then maybe it's easier to sort through the things that you were trying to essentially hide from to begin with. I don't know. Another round, I'm on the ropes. My hopes was in a pile by the door. Thoughts would often cry out. Yeah, I have no idea what this song's about. I have no idea. I enjoyed the production, and I enjoy his vocal style, but yeah, I have no idea. This section 2, me and AI, 16 paths. It's not a live band. I then keep quiet, bend the rules. I still admire them for what it is or what it isn't. Guilt-ridden. This feels like maybe he's talking about other artists. You know, maybe people that he knows that are maybe tinkering with AI or something, and you know he's keeping quiet about it. We're gonna bend the rules on this a little bit. It's not a live band. You know, who knows? Who knows? Light jog, I gotta run to live. Yeah, I don't know. Well, let's go to 3. This one's called Surrender, so this will be the title track. Producer is Vertiqua, I'll say. And this is 3. Here we go, drop it into 3.
Surrender. Surrender.
I like what they're doing with the piano.
Surrender. Sir, my emotions get staunch when they can. I know it's all out my hands. Gotta give God a chance to walk along the Berlin Wall with a woman I can call a friend. Conversation lift me out of places where I often land. I'm so content, count blessings in my mama hands. Judging off the way my life looking, it make a lot of sense. Got a lot to live for, the discourse heaven sent. I've been in them psych wars trying to get a grip. This what living life for, I call it what it is. I see it how I see it, gave me meaning to exist. I am flesh, but a spirit, I appear to be remiss. To the next
I like how those like, heavenly vocals came in right about when he talked about the spirit.
Living through a genocide as real as it get. Can't deal cause the pain take tears in the wind. Mazes of the mind, gracious divine youth. My kind don't decline, my wits giving hindsight. Divine light, spring in the rights. Give life, give twice like the first time breathing. Trauma
I really like the
hereditary demons I'm healing. From Portobello Road to Ealing. Grandma enacting the feelings that I act on, spurring into action. As we talking about practice what you preach. What seems so far is within reach. Everything I ever did, everyone I ever knew, the tingling of every limb, my foot fit every shoe, memories in every groove.
This is cool.
Lessons are in every
I like this
mood.
one.
Mama gifts to me is soothing, stuck beneath this very moon. Everything I ever did, everyone I ever knew, the tingling of every limb, my foot fit every shoe, memories in every groove. Lessons are in every mood. Mama gives to me is soothing, stuck beneath this very moon. Surrender. Surrender.
I feel like there's something about the surrender.
He stood still, his eyes closed and stinging, his lungs heaving, trying to expel the smoke. He held onto the shovel, wanting to move, to do something, but he did not know what. He held onto it desperately, not wanting to let go, feeling that if he did, he was surrendering his secret, his life.
True, man. This shit's so cool because feel like this is one of those things where you could just be at this small, tiny little lounge with like 50 other people and just see this done live. Like, it'd be neat, man. I don't know if, I'm assuming Navy Blue does tours and shows and stuff like that, but I would really like to just see a live show of this, just to see what the setting's like, what the mood is like, what the crowd is like, the whole thing. And then to just really sit there and like take it in. This is a trippy song too, man. This is something that I enjoy Navy Blue, but he's challenging. But that's also why it's fun to sit down and listen to him too, because the way he writes and presents things, it's just different, you know? Sir, my emotions get staunched when they can. I know it's all out of my hands. Got to give God a chance. That's just such a great line because of how silly it sounds when you like say it out loud, right? Got to give God a chance, right? I'm in control of everything, but you know what? I should give God a chance, and right? Because it's like when you step back and look at that, it just sounds so absurd that that's how our mind would work. But so often that's what happens, right? We have such a hard time letting it go. But you know, maybe today I'll give God a chance to actually try and do the right thing for me today. Right? Oh man, this line I find fascinating. To walk along the Berlin Wall with a woman I can call a friend. And I don't know what the fuck that means, but the first thing that went through my mind would be literally being at the place where the Berlin Wall was, and how much life has changed, the world has changed, and to think about what people used to think when the wall was up and what was going to happen and how long it was going to be. Like, who knows, right? Who knows? But to just be at a place like that after all of those things have happened, and into essentially what I think of is, because so often my brain goes to dark places and, oh my God, it's going to be so bad and it's going to last so long and it's going to ruin everything and all that kind of shit. But then to be at a place where who knows how many thousands of people thought that and then they were wrong, you know? Conversation lift me out of places where I often land. And the follow-up line kind of puts me in the same thing too, of like talking through these thoughts and these feelings and getting out of these dark places that are really just all up in here. I'm so content and count blessings in my mama hands. Judging off the way my life looking, it makes a lot of sense. Got a lot to live for. The discourse heaven sent. I've been in the psych wards trying to get a grip. That's what living life for. I call it what it is. I see it how I see it. Gave me meaning to exist. I am flesh, but a spirit. I appear to be remiss. And I love that line because that's when that like production of those really light, ethereal vocals came in, which was really cool. To the next man who carry all his fears to the cliff, let it fly. Set it aside. All a person did. I love that line. To the next man who carry all his fears to the cliff, let it fly. Because the way I take that is, you're carrying all these fears, they're occupying your mind so much so that you bring yourself to the edge of the cliff because you can't take it anymore. But instead of throwing yourself over, you throw all your fears over. That's a great line. That's a great line. Living through a genocide as real as it get. I can't deal because the pain take tears in the wind. Mazes of the mind gracious to find youth. My kind, they'll decline. My wits get my hindsight. Divine light, spring in her rights. Give life, give twice, like the first time breathe in trauma and hereditary demons. I'm healing. Come out in action. As we're talking about practice what you preach. What seems so far is it within reach. That's a good one too. What seems so far is within reach. And regardless of how far it is, right? One step at a time. Eventually you get there. Everything I ever did, everyone I ever knew, the tingling of every limb, my foot fit every shoe. Memories in every groove, lessons are in every move. Mama gifts for me is soothing, stuck beneath his very mood. Well, we're 3 songs in. So far, I feel like I'm enjoying my personal approach of just trying to pick up on what makes sense, just in my own mind, even if I'm wrong, right? But more of just what stands out to me, what it means to me, even if I'm right or wrong, just how it hits the first time, and then not really like straining over the rest and trying to figure out the rest. There's some great gems in here, man. Great gems. To the next man who carried all his fears to the cliff, let it fly. Surrender. Let's go to 4. It's called Over. It's produced by Mike Shab. I don't know. He stole a B and put it at the end of his name. Look out for Mike. He'll steal letters from you. Here's track 4, Over.
I went through nightmares and scary episodes. I spent the light years smoking dope at home, reflecting like mirrors on broken stones. I was right there when they buried bro. Slime world forever keep a dirty nose. When I leave the globe, picture me in all designer clothes. Picture me laying down with a line of hoes, screaming adios. They gon' forever rep my name in the body, yo. 12 looking at me like I hold a John Gotti roll. Grinding for this paper like running with no cardio. Got my hands on a few bricks like Spider-Man.
Got my hands on a few bricks like Spider-Man.
Been a student of this game, I kept a rising head. Never left for school without my vitamins. We did it by our own blood, shedding tears. I was all alone, I was never scared. We was roaming in the darkness looking for a flare. Shit hard to get over, like a note of fear. Nigga took a hit in his gold frame Cartiers. Drop 50 like I'm in my Vince Cartiers. I'm Tracy on the late game, all backboards. I bring my A game. I bring my A game just to prove a point.
I want to just hit this line real quick. I'll go through all the lyrics at the end, but I want to hit this one specifically. We did it by our own bloodshed and tears, rather than blood, sweat, and tears. So good little wordplay right there, because rather than saying, we did it all by hard work, we did it by other methods instead. But then also, it's bloodshed and tears. So it's not this cocky thing of, oh yeah, we did this and did that, and it's like remorse, So that's a great line right there. Let's keep going.
Whichever way the scale shift, the crib is where the tail ends. Lift the veil and get the fuck out. If it isn't now, then well when. Karma is a well, you fucked around and fell in. You held the hand and heard the death whisper. The loneliness atone, but when it roam, you gotta roam right. Nigga try and bargain with his own life. It get risky trying to roll the dice, take a chance. On my Nicholas and Elk out in France, I'm on my Zenadine. Niggas turn to me when they need answers. I greet my Baba on some Black Panther. Every night I find a light to cast a shadow on my grandeur. Body swinging in the gallows, walk on water when it's shallow. Who will lead and who will follow? Like Moses with the cattle. Niggas slither, I could hear them rattle. Tony Parker, how I'm sorting these assists, and when it hit, it'll bang instead of flames for my wits. Nigga, if they ever pitch, I'm gonna be swinging for the stars, stacking brick after brick until the wall built. Fall ill and recover. Nigga, we suffered all in, can't fall in. I can't repeat nothing, fall ill, recover. Nigga, we suffered all in, I can't fall in, can't repeat nothing.
Lord, if you can, save me from that man. Don't let him make a pulp out of me. But the Lord, he was not quick. The law raised up his stick and beat the living hell out of me. I do not understand why God don't protect a man from police brutality. Being poor and black, I have no weapon to strike back. So who but the Lord can protect me?
Oof.
We'll see.
These little outros of James Earl Jones are incredible. Lord, if you can, save me from that man. Don't let him make a pulp out of me. But the Lord, he was not quick. The Lord raised up a stick and beat the living hell out of me. And I didn't understand why God don't protect a man from police brutality. Being poor and black, I have no weapon to strike back. So who but the Lord can protect me? Let's hit Mike Schaub's verse here. I went through nightmares and scary episodes. I spent the light years smoking dope at home. The light years. That's a great... I really like the idea of I spent the light years smoking dope at home. There's a lot of like potential double meaning there, but the way I take it is a light year is a measurement of distance in terms of the speed of light, obviously, and how far it can go in 1 year and all that kind of stuff. But it also makes me think, okay, you know, the years went fast, like the speed of light. That's what I think of first. I don't know if that's right, but that's the first thing that goes through my mind. Reflecting light, mirrors on broken stove. I was right there when they, and he couldn't finish it. And then the next line, he said, I was right there when they buried bro. So I'm assuming he's just talking about his brother. Slime world forever. Keep it dirty nose. When I leave the globe, picture me in all designer clothes. Picture me laying down with a line of hose, screaming adios. They're going to forever rep my name in the body. 12 looking at me like I hold the John Gotti robe. Oh, and I forget, he's like a mobster or something like that. Wasn't he? Yeah. Grinding for this paper like running with no cardio. Grinding for this paper like running with no cardio. Got my hands on a few bricks like Spider-Man. I love that line. I can just immediately picture that. You know how Spider-Man like just kind of sticks. My shooters asked twice like Pfizer plan. Been a student in this game. I kept rising in hand. Never left school without my vitamins. We did it by our own bloodshed and tears. I was all alone. I was never scared. We was roaming in the darkness looking for a flare. The shit hard to get over like an older fear. Took a hit in his girlfriend's Cartiers. Here's navy blue. Whichever way the scales shift, the cripples where the tail ends. I don't understand that one. Lift the veil and get the fuck out. If it isn't now, then where, when? I like that one too. That's a good line. Especially if you have an awareness of a situation that you're in that isn't great. And if you just keep excusing it, like, okay, well, when then? You know, when are you going to get out? If you're just going to keep making excuses, when's it going to happen? Lift the veil, like your own blinders, essentially, and get the fuck out. Karma is a well you fucked around and fell in. You held the hand and heard the death whisper. The loneliness atone, but when it roam, you got a wrong right. Person try and bargain with his own life. You get risky trying to roll the dice, take a chance. I don't know who these people are. French professional football manager, former player. Renowned for his elegance, vision, passing, and ball control. Oh, probably soccer, huh? People turn to me when they need answers. I grieve my Bob on some Black Panther. T'Challa refers to his father as Baba. Oh, okay. It's been a while since I watched Black Panther. I forgot about that. I want to go back to this line right here. Try and bargain with his own life. People try and bargain with his own life. Try and bargain with his own life. I feel like I get that, but I'm already overthinking it. So we'll keep going. Let's not. Poor little brain. Sometimes I ask too much of it. The brain. Hey brain, make sense of this. No, I can't do that right now. It's what is fun about music like this, lyrics like this, is there's so many times when I feel like I feel it more than I can explain it, which is a terrible situation to have in a format like this. It's terrible, just terrible. But there you go. You know, life goes on. Every night I find a light that casts a shadow on my grandeur, and I like that. I like that one a lot. However, whatever it is that he's saying there, like specifically, but just the idea of maybe, you're finally like, yeah, I'm doing pretty good for myself, this, that, and the other, and then you discover someone else that just casts a shadow. Their light is so bright, it basically creates a shadow over you. I mean, I know that's kind of the inverse, but you pale in comparison, essentially. Bodies swinging in the gallows, walk on water when it's shallow. Who will lead and who will follow like Moses with the cattle? People slither, I can hear them rattle. Tony Parker, how I'm sorting these assets. Or these assists, not assets. When they hit, it'll bang instead of flames from my wrist. If they ever pitch, I'm going to be swinging. I don't know. I don't know. I'm out of my depth on this one. I think we're 2 for 2. There's been 2 songs I've kind of understood and 2 that I don't understand at all. Hitting 500, I suppose. Not bad, right? Let's go to 5. It's called Reflections. Producers are Jason Wool and Mario Luciano, who I should remember. Yeah. The name is definitely ringing a small, weak bell inside this bald head. Here's track 5, Reflections.
Reflection is the evidence of God. I choose to revel in. It's navy blue that heaven sent. Settled in a sedimentary rock. My body nestled in another world, another realm of loss. I know the depths of it. Be wary of them spirits that you stepping with. Not all of them is problems, but a few of them gon' get you, kid. Sparring with the elements since elementary days. Caught up in a cave, your evolution rudimentary. The spectrum is expansive when I teeter like it's tempting me. Recipes at the precipice of everything. The crux of what is never seen. A human being I have never been. I know it's more than just the 4 of me. I often wonder what's before me. The afterlife, the catalyst of never acting right. A patch of light, gathering the shadow where my laughter dies. The intersections of these paths of mine. I spun a web and couldn't catch a cry. Catch her in a ride. Tears welling in my eyes, less than half the time. Meditation through these passing times. When my emotions and my ego collide. It's like I'm tethered in the depths of my desolate pride. But who am I? Who are we? Juggling these feelings that are deep. Karma got you living in a loop to soon repeat. Fast asleep. Asleep. Awaken at the day's end. Patiently the flames spin. I ain't got a name, kin. Sage is a title. Sage a true lover, but Sage been a rival. Judged upon arrival. Judgment of my livelihood. I struggle with survival. I was suicidal. Damn. That's the golden ratio, the structure of a spiral. The hero with 1,000 faces, prophet or an idol. Vacant at the heart of cause when I was sitting idle. Obsessing over death when I was simply missing Michael. I am not a savior, but a nigga got disciples. Judas blowing kisses in the wind to try and spite you. Wings stretching like an angel or an eagle, I'ma fly through. Can't see eye to eye, it's heart to heart, I felt the line move. But is it true? I wonder.
I feel like he was kind of going off on that one.
He too breathed again, struggling now with his own breath to control it. Well, here he was now. The room was quiet. What would happen?
Oh, man. This is kind of neat, man. Very different. Very different. I do feel a little, that song in particular, I felt a little awkward just because, reaction, stuff like this, you just absorb it, to me, you just absorb it. So in terms of like a reaction, it does feel a little goofy, I suppose. Just kind of sit here and listen to this essentially just spoken word with very abstract production. And I'm enjoying it, but sometimes I feel like, what am I doing? But I guess it doesn't matter, right? It's all for fun. It's all about enjoying music. And I'm certainly enjoying this. Let's see. Let's just kind of roll through the lyrics. Again, it's first listen. Relax the brain here. Let's not try and overthink things. And whatever jumps out, we'll talk on it. All right? My reflection is the evidence of God I choose to revel in. It's navy blue, the heaven sent, settled in the sedimentary rock my body nestled in. Let's click this annotation and see what people are putting here. Clever way of saying that he's connected to religion. Sure, but it's interesting that he says, of God I choose to revel in. What about this annotation here? I don't want to read that one. Be wary of them spirits that you step with. Not all of them is problems, but a few of them going to get you, kid. I kind of like that. What I get from that on just kind of first processing is, beware of the spirits that you're stepping with. Not all of them is problems. Like maybe these things that we are self-critical about, that we judge ourselves over, whatever issues, and I'm just kind of lumping all these concepts into the term of a spirit because they kind of float with you. They stick with you. Not all of them are necessarily bad. We might be critical of them, but not all of them are necessarily bad. But a few of them are going to get you. So then really it's all about discerning what's the actual threat here versus, what's something that's actually going to affect me in the negative, quite literally, versus something that I'm just being self-critical over that's going to amount to nothing and I need to just stop worrying about it altogether, Sparring with the elements since elementary, dazed, caught up in a cave, your evolution rudimentary. This spectrum is expansive when I teeter like it's tempting me. Recipes at the precipice of everything. The crux of what is never seen, a human being I have never been. I know it's more than just the four of me. So what's the annotation here? Navy blue gives a nod to himself in this line, referencing the four of me as the four names that make up his full legal name. Sage, Gabriel, Carlos, Atreyu, El Cesar. He references throughout his discography, releasing four corresponding albums to the four parts of his name. Interesting. I know it's more than just the four of me. I often wonder what's before me. The afterlife, the catalyst of never acting right, a patch of light. Gathering the shadow where my laughter dies. The intersections of these paths of mine. The afterlife, the catalysts of never acting right, a patch of light. Gathering the shadow where my laughter dies. I feel like that, and then the intersection of these paths of mine. I feel like that is a batch of self-judgment in a sense of looking back, things done, decisions made, and maybe at the time I was laughing, but now in this afterlife, as a result of all the things that I've done, I'm just stuck in this little patch of light. Which, what does that mean? You're surrounded by darkness. And the gathering shadow, now my laughter dies. Now it ain't so funny anymore, right? Like, oh shit, here come the consequences. Now it isn't so funny anymore. Who knows? But that's just kind of first thought, first idea. I spun a web, I couldn't catch a cry. Catcher in the Rye, tears welling in my eyes less than half the time. I need to reread Catcher in the Rye because I remember reading it 15 years ago, and I was not impressed. I don't really understand what the deal is with this book and why people talk about it so much. Navy Blue actually says catcher in a ride, but the line could also be interpreted as catcher in the ride and not the book. The original lyric, catcher in a ride, brings up how Navy Blue brought his relationship to an end as he left my love on the altar when the pain subsided, known to disguise with laughter. Trying to hide his own pain from the end of a past relationship, he tries to restrain himself, but ultimately ends up with tears welling in his eyes, emphasizing the overarching purpose of his song, the pain of the past, and the struggle of coming to terms with grief. Navy Blue also uses Catcher in the Ride to further his ideas throughout the song, likely referencing the moment in chapter 20 which Holden, the protagonist of the novel, begins crying while drunk over past grief and unresolved pain. Navy Blue creates a parallel between the novel and himself as he grapples with his own lingering grief. Okay. Meditation through these passing times where my emotions and my ego collide. It's like I'm tethered in the depths of my desolate pride. But who am I? Who are we juggling these feelings that I deep? And I like that, that I deep, because he just drops the word keep, right? Or hide or whatever. I felt like that was kind of brilliant. He just drops the word. Karma got you living in a loop to soon repeat, fast asleep, asleep. And of course he repeats the word asleep. Awaken at the day's end, patiently the flames spin. I ain't got a name, kin. Sage is a title, sage a true lover, but sage been a rival. Let's click this annotation. Sage is his actual name, however, through lyrics and content, he has earned the name as a role that's essential. It's also playing with opposites in the second line. A lover to most, but a rival, enemy to others. Okay. Judged upon arrival, judgment on my livelihood. I struggle with survival. I was suicidal. That's the golden ratio, the structure of a spiral. I like that line a lot. The golden ratio, I forget how it breaks down, but it's, anyway, you can look it up. Just look it up. Rather than me poorly explaining it, just look it up. But it is a tightening spiral. So the idea of pairing the concept of a golden ratio to some sort of downward spiral that leads to your own suicide is a interesting, I guess, juxtaposition there. The hero with 1,000 faces, prophet or an idol, vacant at the heart of cause when I was sitting idle. Obsessing over death when I was simply missing Michael. I'm not a savior, but a person, God disciple, but a person, God. This reference Archangel Michael, who is considered right-hand man to God. He states that while he isn't exactly guardian, and this is downvoted. Yeah, I wonder who Michael is in this. Well, I got like 3 things on that one. Yeah, I don't know. I would love to, this is where things like Dissect Podcast are so great. Dissect Podcast, taking things apart and really taking the time to break it down and study it and look up references and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty fascinating. I struggle with survival. Suicidal. Well, let's keep on rolling here. This, I don't know how you pronounce this. I would say residue, but I don't know. Residuum? I don't know. This is track 6. Arm & Hammer is on here, so I think that's also Billy Woods, right? Yeah, and Elucid. Yeah. Okay. All right. Here is track 6, whatever the hell it's called. Cool production on this one. It's like racing string.
Can't take ownership. Further to fall, I know this cliff. I hope you notice me. Cause I can't see myself, I'm bleeding simultaneously. Erasing thoughts, my racing heart can't lay my head to sleep. the way ahead like Archie Shepp, the herd of countless sheep. The crown was stripped to pieces. The stake remains, not free to roam. I kept me on a leash. Mona Lisa eyes will follow me around the tomb. My mama womb, the safest place for me. It ain't no going back. I've sown the gash and shown myself deceit. Don't you hold me back. The furthest front was once a bloody heat. My Reddit sclera, hyperbolic choice is within reach. Just let me go or keep me here to suffer such a need. Have you ever dreamt awake and can't recall the smallest things? The calmness of the pond, the fallen dreams is where I sat. And took a tally of my schemes, what I crept up into, what I've been through, led me through a qualm. I'll ascend and build my totem hella tall. If it's heaven, then I'm mending every flaw. While I'm living, keep a distance from the ball. When in doubt,
I like this one. It's very kind of haphazard, but I like it.
Capable and calm, and what'll face me won't break me, grant me problems I can solve.
He felt there was too much difference between him and them to allow for a common binding or a common life. Only when threatened with death could that happen. Only in fear and shame, with their backs against the wall, could that happen.
I sit with the drink and listen to the rain, watch her paint with her hair in 2 braids. Lamplight puddles about the place, huddled in corners like mourners at a wake. Shadows thrown in primordial cave while I watch the paint and looks away. Tip ashes in my palm, I can't find a tray. Watch her paint like many armed guard, adorned with talisman and charms. Canvas stretched across the wall. It's pouring out like a heart with a hole.
It's like a t-shirt with only one seam. I'm listening to Stevie sing Happy Birthday. It's not mine though, so I played it loud enough, driving slow, bending corners, hoping it might be yours. I watch faces past the bus stop, coming out of store, roll the windows down, heat on, humming, children running. I throw up the peace sign to total strangers. I told you I wipe with my left hand, to no one in particular, cause it felt more free like that. I am IB with my C's, laughing at more cops and vests that say heightened security. I think they know we here.
I think they know we here. I like this one. I can't pronounce it, but I like this one. This racing string section, man. I don't know, this one's like anxious. I love Billy. I've been listening to a lot of Billy Woods this year. I really like Billy Woods. I sat with a Drake and listened to the rain, watch her paint with her hair in 2 braids. Lamplight puddles about the place, huddled in corners like mourners at a wake. I love that. It's so visual right there. Just different. Like if it's raining outside, it's kind of dark, but you got the lamps on, but you know the light is just kind of in little sections of the room. Shadows thrown in primordial cave while I wipe the paint and look away. Tip the ashes. I love this too. Tip the ashes in my palm. I can't find the tray. Watch him paint like many on God. The dawn with talisman and charms. Canvas stretched across the wall. It's pouring out like a heart with a hole. I don't know, man. I feel like that's just some snapshot from Billy Woods. The one thing I like about this guy, the way he writes and the way he puts things out there, it is like these little just snapshots from his life. Snapshots of memory. Which, I mean, that sounds dumb because isn't that everything? But it's like he's writing to pictures from his memory. He's not trying to explain it. He's just like, it's almost in a sense of recreating it through words, which also sounds dumb because, of course, I like how I'm trying to make it sound all fancy and instead I just sound not fancy. But I mean, I think, especially with this verse, just the visual elements of it's raining, lamplight, just kind of in the little corners of the room, like mourners at a wake, you know, putting the ash in his hands. Whatever's going on, they're painting on this big canvas on the wall. It's raining like hell outside. Like just that. It's just that, you know? And it doesn't necessarily have to mean anything, but it just captures this moment, this mood, this feeling, this scene, whatever it is. That's how he writes. I really enjoy it. And then Elucid's verse, man, it's like a t-shirt with only one seam. I'm listening to Stevie saying happy birthday. It's got to be Steve Wonder, right? Stevie Wonder? Yeah. It's not mine, though, so I play it loud enough, driving slow, bending corners, hoping it might be yours. I watch faces pass the bus stop, coming out of the store, roll the windows down, heat on, humming, children running. I throw up the peace sign to total strangers. Who told you I write with my left hand? To no one in particular, because it felt more free like that. I don't know. Laughing at more cops and vests that say heightened security. I think they know we're here. Let's try it. See if we can find anything from Navy Blue here, if I can actually make sense of here. Can't take ownership. First little fall. I know this cliff. I hope you notice me. Because I can't see myself. I'm bleeding simultaneously. The first little... the only thing I can really kind of lift from that is this first little fall. I know this cliff. To me, that makes me think of like a cycle of going through ups and downs. And, maybe if you... Because earlier you talked about being suicidal and all this other stuff, and so maybe maybe if he's kind of doing okay, but I'm stumbling emotionally or mentally, and being aware of a cycle starting again that might bring him back down. Who knows? That's the only thing I can think of right there. Erasing thoughts, my race, a heart, my heart can't lay my head to sleep. The way ahead, like Archie Shepp, the herd of countless sheep. That's kind of a neat phrase. I don't know Archie Shepp, but the herd of countless sheep. I can't fall asleep and there's a herd of countless sheep. The crown was stripped to pieces. A stake remains, not free to roam. I can't be on a leash. Not free to roam. I can't be on a leash. A stake remains. So I wonder if what goes through my mind would be the idea of you like an actual physical stake in the ground, and then you tie your dog up to it, so the dog's free to run around, but it's on the leash. It can only roam freely the radius of the length of the leash. I don't know. That's the only thing that comes to my mind right there. But then also too, the reason the stake jumps out, because track one was, he said he felt abandoned at the stake. And so with just with the idea of a dog, just for an example, you're leaving your dog there so that you don't have to watch over the dog or like pay attention to it. You can kind of go do whatever you want. You can just leave the dog alone for a while and it's free to roam. Anyway, I don't know. That stands out to me right there. Mona Lisa eyes will follow me around a tomb. My mama womb, the safest place for me, but ain't no going back. I soon the gash and shown myself deceit. Don't you hold me back, the furthest front was once a bloody heap. My reddest glare, a hyperbolic choice, is within reach. I don't know. Just let me go or keep me here till suffer such a need. Have you ever dreamt awake? You can't recall the smallest thing. I kind of like that one. It makes me think of long road trips where you just zone out for a while and then all of a sudden you're like, what the fuck happened to the last 45 minutes? I have no idea. No idea. The calm and subtle pond, the fallen dreams is where I sat. I took a tally of my schemes, what I crept up into, what I've been through. Let me through a qualm, I'll ascend and build my totem hella tall. Let's click the annotation here. Navy Blue makes the point that his hardships have helped him develop his resistance and strength as a man. Sure. I'll agree with that one. If it's heaven and I'm mending every flaw while I'm living, keep a distance from the ball. When in doubt, you build a wall and get it gone. Dear God, make me capable and calm. What'll face me won't break me. Grant me problems I can solve. My bias towards Billy Woods is kicking in here. This is one of my favorites off the album so far. But man, listening to it is just kind of anxious and tight and chaotic and odd. Especially with that racing, the racing strings that they're using make a lot of sense when he's talking about, he can't sleep and the countless herd of sheep and all that stuff. Definitely some anxiety in here. I don't know. I feel like I'm getting my ass whooped, but so it goes, right? let's keep going. This is going to be track 7. Crux Ansata. I don't know. Q3 is the producer. 3 minutes long. Here we go. Here's 7.
Steal away, ain't got time to stay here. It was dangerous to stay here, but it was also dangerous to go out. The singing filled his ears. Would it not have been better for him had he lived in that world the music sang of? It would have been easy to have lived in it, for it was his mother's world, humble, contrite, believing. It had a center, a core, an axis, a heart, which he needed, but could never have unless he laid his head upon a pillow of humility and gave up his hope of living in the world. And he would never do that.
And he would never do that.
Spot the eagle on the tree branch perched. Crash alive, my asylum is a rebirth. Sleep for 3 and then arise, resurrecting through the tides to a lurch, to immersed in the burning fire of my desires, of everything that ever transpired. What I've acquired is a power that is higher, or greater than whatever else would take up space. Genetic makeup's place within my framework. Every life I ever known was on the same earth. The reign of my worth is a shame to desert me. Gains are preferred. If I remain in reverse, I seen laymen observe from the pain of the nerve inadvertently. I was ashamed of my hurt. Can't take it lightly, this is serious work. Deathly afraid, but couldn't give away what I earned too freely, whatever need be. The going isn't easy, but I treat me as such. Living isn't life when I'm in reach of a crutch. It rush and subsides, sun arise from the muck. Heat clever, nothing better than to try when it's up. It's self-love, self-evident. All of me is settling in. I know that heaven is within the body I can trust. Have you ever gone a distance and felt distant? Have you ever prayed and felt
I like the production on this.
What's the difference? What's the difference? I can still honor the past and be present. Just imagine if my peace of mind was measured by the second. Looking backwards doesn't mean I'm not moving forward. I was captured just to know divine order. It's not an orbit if you circle in the border. I was often caught in one of 4 corners, the forlorn and made right of such horrors. Look how much I learned in one of 4 quarters. Why is every life foreign? Why is every time I cry it's like I can't afford it? Please, take these broken wings. Please, won't you heal my broken wings? Please, take my broken wings. Please, won't you heal my broken wings?
Well, let's go through. Here we go. Spot the eagle on the tree branch perched. Crash alive. My asylum is a rebirth. So I feel like that's just kind of like a going crazy and surviving going crazy. I guess. I don't know. Sleep for 3 and then arise, resurrecting through the ties. Something. It was something to immerse in a lurch, I think. Emerge in a lurch. It was something like that. The question mark here. They don't have the lyrics filled in because they couldn't discern it. But it was something like that. Resurrecting through the ties to emerge in a lurch or something like that. Too immersed in the burning fire of my desires of everything that ever transpired. What I've acquired is a power that is higher, a greater than whatever else will take up space. So I feel like this opening section is really just kind of a nod of I drove myself crazy, but now I'm essentially reborn. Like I've fully crashed out, and I've kind of risen up from the ashes of that. I guess. I don't know. That's my guess. That's my guess. A greater than whatever else will take up space. Genetic makeups placed within my framework. Every life I ever known was on the same earth. The reign and my worth is a shame to desert me. Gains are preferred, if I remain in reverse. Gains are preferred if I remain in reverse. I seen laymen observe from the pain of the nerve inadvertently. I was ashamed of my hurt. Can't take it lightly. This is serious work. I seen laymen observe from the pain of the nerve inadvertently. Let's click on the annotation as I was ashamed of my hurt. Not helpful. It's more or less saying the same thing. I think that part's pretty straightforward. But I really want to... The parts prior. Gains are preferred if I remain in reverse. If I remain in reverse. It's almost like if... what's the word? Relapse? But I feel like relapse isn't the right word here. Because it seems to be more of an emotional type of thing. It's not like a substance thing. Maybe if I just backtrack, maybe if I don't know. Gains preferred if I seen a layman observe from the pain of the nerve. I don't know, well, let's move on. I'm overthinking it. Let's move on. Deathly afraid, but couldn't give away what I earned. Too freely, whatever need be, the going isn't easy, but I treat me as such. Going isn't easy, but I treat me as such. I wonder if this ties into this is serious work. Can't take it lightly. This is serious work. Even though I was ashamed, the going isn't easy, but, I can't, I'm afraid, I'm ashamed, can't give away what I earned. Maybe what that means is through this process of self-work and working on these things that have happened, I've learned these things and I've earned maybe like this feeling of rebirth or maybe this feeling of self-respect. But in earning that, I can't give that to someone else because everyone has to go through their own thing in a sense. Maybe that's what that means. And then the going isn't easy, but I treat me as such, as in I treat me as serious. I can't take this lightly. I have to take it seriously. And I myself am worth the effort, I suppose. That's what that seems like. Living isn't life when I'm in reach of a crutch. It's rushed. It subsides and arises from the muck. He's clever, nothing better than to try when it's up. It's self-love, self-evident. All of me is settling in. I know that heaven is within the body that I can trust. Have you ever gone the distance and felt distant? Have you ever prayed and felt no different? What's the difference? That's kind of interesting there. I almost feel like he's saying through all of this work on his own self, maybe it doesn't really feel like things have changed. Like maybe he feels better, but now he feels more distant because of it. I don't know. That's an interesting little section right there. I can still honor the past and be present. Just imagine if my peace of mind was measured by the second. Let's click that annotation. Let's see here. Navy blue presents an interesting point that you can still reminisce on the past while also focusing on what you need to do right now. Looking back and being stuck in the past are two different things. Very true. I want to get on this, measured by the second. Imagine if my peace of mind was measured by the second. I feel like what he's saying there is, if his peace of mind was measured by the second, as in how often and how long he thinks about things, maybe. And so if that's right, you could go one way and say, I'm so just always caught up in my thoughts and what I'm thinking about and what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, and what I should have did and what I did back then, and I can't change that. Then, maybe in one way, because I just spend every waking moment thinking about these things, then you could measure maybe my intent to have peace of mind, but also that's a measurement of not having peace of mind. I don't know. I like the line, but I think I've properly ruined its meaning by trying to explain it. Looking backwards doesn't mean I'm not moving forward. And that's true, but it does depend on how long you're looking back. Because you can kind of Like with anything, right? You can go for a walk, right? You can kind of glance back and keep moving forward. But if you just keep looking back while moving forward, you're going to trip and fall. You're going to trip and fall. Or run into a wall. Or step out into traffic. That's terrible. Then you get hit by somebody in a Prius. Oh, how embarrassing. A fucking Prius hit me? Ugh. I don't want that. Nah, I don't want that to happen. That'd be terrible.
You'd never recover.
I would never. Emotionally, I would never recover from that.
Lifetime of embarrassment.
Physically, I'd probably end up okay, but
Yeah.
the emotional trauma of being hit by a Prius would be too much. Yeah.
Songs would be sung.
I was captured just to know divine order. It's not an orbit if you're circling the border. I was often caught in one of 4 corners. Let's click on this annotation here. This line perfectly continues the metaphor of the last line. So an orbit is the curved path that one object takes around another in space. An orbit and borders are metaphors for circling around a particular issue and not dealing with them head on. Ah, okay. Sure. But he's saying it's not an orbit if you're circling the border. So, like, I agree with the annotation, but it doesn't, like, explain the meaning. To forlorn and make right of such horrors, look how much I learned in one of 4 quarters. And then I forgot what he says here, and it's not written down. Wires every time I cry, it's like I can't afford it. Please take these broken wings. Please, won't you heal my broken wings? Interesting shit, man. Can you see the pain on my face yet from thinking too hard? Just pay attention. As the video progresses, you'll notice more and more pain on my face as I try and rub brain cells together in here. This is fun. I joke about it, but it's fun. It is fun. It's fascinating. Something that I think helps me a lot with doing things like this is I remember being a teenager and just enjoying poetry, kind of being fascinated by poetry, often being kind of bored by poetry. A lot of the stuff in school, you know, they teach you poetry, like, I'm not really into this. But, like, I remember loving The Raven by, what's his name? Edgar Allan Poe. Like, literally one of the most famous poems ever. And it's like, by what's his name? Oh, man. Oh, fuck. Anyway, though, I've always enjoyed poetry. And I remember being a moody teenager and being in AOL chat rooms and the poetry chats and just hanging out there. And we would give each other prompts and you'd write this fucking thing that just made no sense. It made no sense. But, man, when you're a moody teenager, I'm so deep and insightful and nobody understands me. I did a lot of that shit as a teenager. So it's fun to come back to this in a more, I don't know, slightly more professional sense, I suppose. But Navy Blue is challenging because the way he writes, man, there's a lot of esoteric shit going on, in my opinion. Hard to pick up. Let's go to 8. It's called Belladonna. Producer is The Alchemist. Again, we got Earl Sweatshirt in here as well. Let's jump into 8. Here we go. Here's Belladonna.
Out to bed, style from depths rising, flowers at the grave site. I'm short-sighted, couldn't fortify the floor rightly. Despite my only way of living, I would bend the ball around the wall like Kira Knightley. Send me off with a prayer, I'm living more than likely. In them NZ shocks, Nike. My wings biggest when I beckon like Beckham with the armband. Or I'm so Campbell Bear, the center of my arm's length. You can't crucify me. Smoking on that park bench, I'm through it all behind me. Like the song say, it falls down. Life is origami. I felt the wrath of 1,000 tsunamis. Many lives lived, I'm delivered in this body on a mission. I'm Orion, how the stars make the night bleed. Calmness of mine, I go the distance that my sight sees. High key, mind playing tricks, telling me there's no one like me. You would play the role that Ty Lue did for I3. I'm me, would you rather be happy or right, G? Choose wisely.
Hey, look.
Would you rather be happy or right?
We finna take risks, I could get us paid. Try and concentrate, whole lot of rage. In and out of phase, counterbalance weight. This a heavy-handed take, I need it in every way. THEBE.ETH, everybody eats, come get a plate. CC, your whole team, I'm with my coaches. Yeah, my niggas stage, Navy, the same one from the Benz. Niggas didn't break shit, but bread and paper, we living great. I need the cribby on acres, late shifts, gon' get us straight. Mid-December rain, come and wash the sins and stains, maybe. I need ventilation, couldn't breathe, I couldn't think, filled with anger. I couldn't leave, sinking with the anchor. Tiptoeing around the sand, getting in the capers. We really don't major. Niggas cheesy like Philly steaks. Anyways, I was listening to Lil B and Corn Mega. Child of the corn liquor, had my form mangled. Focused on couture, need to hit the gun range more. Tall tales and war fables. It's yours. Got my baby high chair at the boss table for sure. Fuck, nigga.
Got my baby high chair at the boss table. I like that. I like this one too, man. It is fun to just listen to. I can't make fucking heads or tails out of most of it, but it is fun to listen to. It's just different. It rolls right into Aegis. Okay, we'll pause there. Alright, let's see if I can figure some of this shit out. From the mid out to Bed-Stuy, from depths rising. Flowers at the gravesite. I'm short-sighted. Couldn't fortify the ploy rightly. Despite my only way of living, I would bend the ball around the wall like Keira Knightley. What the fuck is that about? Send me off with a prayer. I'm living more than likely in them NZ shocks. Nike. My wings biggest when I beckon like Beckham with the armband. So there was a movie, like Bend It Like Beckham, right? I've never seen it. I know David Beckham was a soccer player. Was Keira Knightley like in that movie with him?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. From 2002. Almost 25 years ago, kids. Damn, I didn't realize it was like that long ago. Huh. Okay. Oh, and there's the shoes. There's the pictures of the shoes. Okay. Okay. Or I'm Sol Campbell, bare the center of my arm's length. You can't crucify me. What's this about? Oh, another soccer player. Okay. Smoking on that park bench. I threw it all behind me. Like the song say, it all falls down. Life is origami. I felt the wrath of 1,000 tsunamis. Many lives lived. I'm delivered in his body. On a mission, I'm Orion, how the stars make the night bleed, calmness of mind. I go the distance that my sight sees. Well, I want to click this annotation for Orion, but the next line I really like. Orion, also known as Hunter, is one of many constellations, relates to himself in terms of focus and goals. Making something bleed is killing someone or something. Hunters usually kill in the wilderness, but because it's a constellation, you see that the night bleeds. Okay, sure. Sure. I like this line a lot. High key, mind playing tricks, telling me there's no one like me. And I like it high key instead of low key, right? Like my mind has really and I feel like that's an ego thing. Like there's no one, kind of like what I was just talking about, right? When I was being a moody teenager in the AOL chat rooms. I'm so dark and so deep and so all this other shit. Well, I like that he tosses that in there. And then, of course, the next reference, I have no idea. You will play that role that Tai Lu did for I3. And then this next line is great. I'm me. Would you rather be happy or right, G? And I feel like this decision of would you rather be happy or right, I feel like that's another thing that also hinges on the concept of ego. Because your ego can tell you something and you could just be miserable because but I'm right and everybody else is wrong and I'm right, and you cling to this thing that you're right about. Or you just fucking let it go. It doesn't matter, and just go enjoy your life, you know? Don't get hung up on how wrong the other person is or whatever. Just let it go and just go live instead. Enjoy yourself rather than fixate on yourself being right and the other person being, or whoever, whatever it is, right, being wrong. Let's look at Earl. I also have no fucking idea. We fit and take risks. I could get us paid. Try concentrate. Whole lot of rage. In and out of phase. Counterbalance weight. This is a heavy-handed take. I need it in every way. I feel like the in and out of phase is like an electrical reference, like 3-phase ACs, and if you get out of phase, things get really fucking haywire pretty fast. Especially since it's followed up by counterbalance weight. And then this is a heavy-handed take. Let's click the annotation. Earl's describing his upbringing as a young man trying to figure out his route in life. He also describes going through phases and anger issues. Okay, sure. That makes sense. That makes sense. Phases, anger issues. Sure. Like I went 3-phase AC. Oh, fuck, man. Sage Navy, the same one from the Bends. Didn't break shit, but bread and paper. We're living great. I need the Cribby on Acres. Late shift. Gonna get a straight mid-December rain. Come and wash the sins and stains maybe. I need ventilation. Couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. Filled with anger. I couldn't leave. Sinking with the anchor. Tiptoeing around the sand. Getting into capers. We really don't major. Cheesy like Philly steaks. I'd love a Philly steak. That sounds right. Philly cheesesteak? That sounds amazing right now. I have no idea what the fuck Earl's talking about, but there you go. For the most part, I don't really know what Navy Blue's talking about either, but that's okay. I hope it's okay. Sometimes I kind of like being completely out of my element because I feel like it helps show the authenticity of this. Like I'm not faking this shit. Like I don't go and look and stuff. Every now and then when something comes out, I'll like look and see what people are kind of saying very, 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 very briefly, just to get an idea of maybe what's coming if it's a new release or something. But I mean, for the most part, like 98% I drop into these things blind. I have no idea what's going on unless I'm familiar with the artist or something like that. But so sometimes it's fun to look dumb because it's like, no, seriously, I'm dumb. I don't know what I'm doing. And then every now and then on an album when maybe it kind of looks like what I'm doing, I'm getting lucky. Hey, look, I actually sometimes know what I'm talking about, but only sometimes. Let's go to 9. It's called Aegis. Navy Blue and Bori are producing, dropping into 9. Here we go. Riding in the rain. I wonder if this is a continuation of that sound from the opening track.
I turned my back and saw myself attached. What type of shit is that? I can't react cause I'm responsible, responding to the fact of the matter. Patterns are intact and what I lacked was a sense of me. No sense in keeping tabs. The
what I lacked was a sense of
and went to sleep and woke up with a mask. Soot and ashes where I stood to find my footing on this path. My life a tapestry, I'm weaving grief to see I'm still aghast. To counteract it, I've been seeking peace and heaving through the gas. And when I gasp and reaching my beneath, the soil kinda tough, the body's in the crust, don't claim defeat. Completion is a must, we send it up and still ascending up, simultaneously bleeding. Teach me how to think of us, cause every thought of me is fleeting. Needing what I'm bred to love, to know her glowing fervor is to be amongst. Whatever that means.
That's a neat production. I like the production in this one.
Keep on digging. We saw him dead when we was only children. Know the feeling way too well. I know the smell, the vision chilling. My horizon line, the age of 5 is when I was distilling. Casket at my eyes was lifted to its height, and through the ceiling seen his spirit fly. I know I can't go with him.
Whoa.
Will I wither or will I arise and be the boy to fill the void in father's eyes? He slept awake, although I saw him hurting. I was safe. Surface of the lake reflect the moon as distant ripples undulate. I seek the light, can't stay within this darkness of a covered face.
Whoa.
Covered face.
I think he just told us his dad died when he was 5.
He stole to the door of his room and opened it and went in and pulled on the light. He turned to the window and put his hand under the upper ledge and lifted. He felt a cold rush of air laden with snow. He inside of his stomach glowed white hot. With his feet upon the bottom ledge, his legs bent under him, his sweaty body shaken by wind, he looked into the snow and tried to see the ground below, but could not. Then he leaped. He got to his feet, one at a time. He walked and tried to run, but he felt too weak.
Close my eyes, it's alright.
Ah, this is beautiful.
I close my eyes to the night. With open eyes, I'm in flight.
Piano right here is beautiful.
Was met with grace by the fire. I'll close my eyes, it's alright. I close my eyes to the night.
I like this one. Aegis. I like this one.
With open eyes, I'm in flight now.
I forget what the word Aegis means. I forget what it means, but... Dude, let's jump on verse 2. I think he's telling us about when his dad dies here. Keep on digging. We saw him dead when we was only children. Know the feeling way too well. I know the smell, the vision chilling. The horizon line, the age of 5, is when I was distilling. Casket at my eyes was lifted to its height, and through the ceiling seen a spirit fly. I know I can't go with him. Will I wither, or will I arise, and be the void to fill the void in Father's eyes? I think he's talking about his dad here. I think he's talking about his dad's funeral. Here, let's keep going. He slipped away. Although I saw him hurting, I was safe. Now, I don't know that. Who slipped away there? Surface of the lake reflect the moon. Its distant ripples undulate. I seek the light. Can't stay within his darkness of a covered face. Covered faces, all the disarray, they find the replacement. I feel like he's talking about being at his dad's funeral and being 5 years old, and there's the casket, but it's at eye level, so he can't see in, so he gets picked up to look and see. And then talking about seeing a spirit fly, like through the ceiling. I know I can't go with him. And then this next line, will I wither or will I arise and be the void to fill the void in Father's eyes? Maybe it's his grandfather. He slipped away, although I saw him hurt and I was safe. Maybe it's his grandfather's funeral, and the void in Father's eyes is just the sadness of his dad seeing his dad die. Who knows? I don't know. Let's go to verse 1. I turned my back. I saw myself attached. What type of shit is that? I can't react because I'm responding to the fact of the matter. Patterns are intact. And what I lacked was a sense of me. No sense in keeping tabs. The dreamer laughed and wept and went to sleep and woke up with a mask. Soot and ash is where I stood. To find my footing on this path. Let's touch on this a little bit. With the concept of maybe, this funeral in mind here. I turned my back. I saw myself attached. What type of shit is that? What I lacked was a sense of me. So no sense in keeping tabs. The dreamer laughed and wept and went to sleep and woke up with a mask. And so I feel like soot and ash is where I stood. I don't really know how to put all this together, but this lack of a sense of me. Just laughing, crying, no sense in keeping tabs, no sense of trying to make sense of it, right? Or keeping track of anything. Go to sleep and then wake up with a mask, soot and ash where I stood. It's like it's like this self was just completely destroyed, and then what exists in its place afterwards is a creature holding the mask, and I don't know. It's kind of a wild section there. But this idea of feeling so lost, it's like the real you literally just burns away to nothing, and what's left is something that's holding a mask. I don't know. To find my footing on this path, my life a tapestry, I'm weaving grief to see I'm still aghast. To counteract it, I've been seeking peace and heaving through the gas. And when I gasp and reaching my beneath, the soil kind of tough, the body's in the crust, unclaimed, and then this is incomplete. Completion is a must. We send it up and still ascending up, simultaneously bleeding. Teach me how to think of us, because every thought of me is fleeting. Needing what I'm bred to love, to know her glowing fervor is to be amongst. Fuck, man. Amongst, whatever that means. Thank you, Navy Blue, for putting whatever that means. Because I feel a little... at least you're also confused, too. I mean, maybe, right? Maybe. I don't know what to make of that first verse. There's some words, some things are like jumping out though. Like this simultaneously bleeding came out in the previous track when he was talking about being Orion. I think. Every thought of me is fleeting. Feels like something, a mention of self-worth, which is something he's been struggling with. That's come up earlier. Needing what I'm bred to love, to know her glowing fervor is to be amongst. I don't know, man. And all of these little narrated parts, too, they're probably very important to everything that's being said in the album. But, like, I'm having enough time struggling through the lyrics. Like, I feel like the narrated parts, you could probably just take all those out and just read those on your own, and that would be its own story. And I almost wonder if you separate the narration sections from the album and just study the narration sections and then go listen to the album if the album makes more sense. Probably does. But it's a lot to track all at the same time on one listen, right? It's a lot. Let's keep going. This one's called Circa. This is 10. This is the song that has Ka, and it's produced by Malik Abdul Rahman. That's not familiar to me. Here is 10. Here's Circa.
There was no day for him now, and there was no night. There was but a long stretch of time. A long stretch of time.
This production makes me kind of think of Honor Kill the Samurai.
The end. Toward no one in the world did he feel any fear now, for he knew that fear was useless. And toward no one in the world did he feel any hate now, for he knew that hate would not help him.
I can't have this heart of glass broken. My last notion on this path until I fast forward to the point of my collapse within my sad story. Come and take a ride or take a dive within my past quarries. I'm alive, was only 5 when I knew death. Attune this breath of mine, exercise the debt bereft is mandatory. The allegory often is detested by the wrath of glory. I just can't imagine that I had it sorted. Magic ordinance, detachment from the floor, I lift the latch. Felt it all attack, the tragedy is torturous. Foreign borders where I tore me out to fortify. Coordinates lie ahead where everybody born to die. Tell me, are you sure of it? Work too hard to live in vain, so I refrain to forfeit it. Orbits but a cycle, Angel Michael with the sword to lift and strike a beast. Something about the lightning when it strike beneath. Found a gift within the message that I'm sifting through. Fed the witch's blood cause my tradition has its rituals. Give it room to breathe. Centuries of human grief accumulate and leave. Can't you see that it's all cyclical?
When you no longer hear me, I'm here. When you no longer hear me, I'm here. When you no longer see me, I'm free.
Is he harmonized with Ka here? It sounds like it. It sounds like Ka with him.
When you no longer see me, I'm free. I'm from the field, made use of my shield. Having knew a 7-2 grew too fast to rear. She had a hunch and lunchbox, mom's packed to prayer. Driven, living in the flat, didn't have jack to spare. With grip force, 4 claws, no claps, chair. Born tired, both wrong side when tracks in there. To crack Malays, watch Happy Days during my saddest year. Never lies, had to sever ties with fam, was that severe. Crying only got you beat harder, smarter than Masketeer. Beast was near to be sincere, these moments all I had to share. So I doubly mull it over, never show lack of care. Sick and wicked world, where the flattest sphere appears the establishment, only one established fear. Correct, protecting you and yours is all that matters here. Believing even could reason with a demon if I had his ear. Put it all on the line, risked even more my last career. To unobstruct yours, making sure this path is clear. Been saying sooth since youth, my truth matched the dare. Generally him and injuries, will I attach repair. When you no longer hear me, I'm
Yeah,
here.
it's both of them.
When you no longer hear me, I'm here. When you no longer see me, I'm free. I'm from the field, made use of my shield. When you no longer hear me, I'm here. When you no longer hear me, I'm here. When you no longer see me, I'm free. I'm from the field, made use of my shield.
I like this one, Circa. This is cool, man. Like, I'll let it finish, I guess. I know this shit is not, popular and there's all this shit going on, about fucking Drake and Kendrick and all this stuff, and like that whole thing has gotten so ridiculous to me. It's so uninteresting to me. All this arguing over those two guys. And what's fun for me with this is it's so hard to understand. It's so esoteric. I'm getting so many things wrong, I'm sure. But at the same time, while I sit here and listen to this, even though, this, it's not like all these songs are bangers and, oh my God, I'm going to put them on my playlist. It's just, I'm listening to somebody who cares about the art that they're making. And that's what matters to me. Even if it's not something that, blows me away or it's my favorite song ever, you can just feel it coming through. You can feel it coming through, man. Let's go through Ka's verse because it was fun to hear him again. There's some stuff I picked up on. Let's see if I can catch more. Heaven knew it's 7-2. Grew too fast to rear. I don't know what the 7-2 is about. She had a hunch and a lunchbox. Mom's packed the prayer. Driving, living in the flat, didn't have jack to spare. Great wordplay there. Living in the flat, which is an area, but also if you don't have a jack to spare because your tire's flat, you can't get the car up to change out the flat tire to spare. So that's fun wordplay right there, and that's like just good classic Ka wordplay right there. We grip force for applause, no claps or cheer. Born tired. Both wrong side when tracks are near. I love that too. I was talking about being on the wrong side of the tracks, but both sides are wrong basically. To crack malaise, watch Happy Days during my saddest year. Happy Days is a show. So the feeling of malaise and being sad and trying to watch a show called Happy Days, I guess. Never lies, had to sever ties with fam, was that severe. Crying only got you beat harder. It's smarter to mask the tear. That's pretty self-explanatory, but also pretty sad right there. The previous line, too, never lies, had to sever ties with fam, was that severe. That's self-explanatory, pretty sad. Beast was near to be sincere, these moments all I had to share. So I doubly mull it over, never show lack of care. Sick and wicked world where the flattest fare appears the establishment only want established fear. Correct, protecting you and yours is all that matters here. Believe in even, could reason with the demon if I had his ear. I like that. Believe in even. Like equality. I believe in equality. I believe it, we should all have a fair shake and equal opportunity or whatever, right? Could reason with the demon if I had his ear. So basically, that line is kind of neat just because I feel like it's Ka saying, I believe in equality so much, and I can articulate it so well that I could even reason with a demon. Pretty good. Put all on the line, risked even more my last career to unobstruct yours, making sure this path is clear. Been saying, soothed since my youth, my truth matched the dare, which is a fun little wordplay on truth or dare, the game. But basically, my truth matches the dare, and I think the dare being, this career of being a music artist. Generally, him and injuries will attack the pen. When you no longer hear me, I'm here. When you no longer hear me, I'm here. When you no longer see me, I'm free. I'm from the field, make use of my shield. That little chorus, man, where it's him and Navy Blue together, that's got to mean a lot to Navy Blue. Especially the lyrics. When you no longer hear me, I'm here. No longer see me, I'm free. That's got to mean a lot to him right there. Something magical about having music, the person's gone, but you can go back and still listen to him. Some other lyrics have come up I'm not going to go through the whole verse of Navy Blues here. Well, actually, I say that, and then I actually probably will. But I do want to point out that earlier there was an annotation talking about Michael, Archangel Michael, and it was downvoted and stuff. But here, orbits but a cycle, Angel Michael with the sword to lift and strike a beat. So as we kind of progress through this album, I am noticing, there are phrases that are appearing here and there. So I think that previous annotation was correct. It is the Archangel Michael that he's talking about when he says, I just miss Michael. But it could also be double meaning or wordplay or who knows, right? But it has come up again here. Let's go through the verse I said I wasn't going to go through. I can't have this heart of glass broken. My last notion on this path until I fast forward to the point of my collapse within my sad story. Come and take a ride or take a dive within my past quarries. I'm alive, was only 5 when I knew death, attuned his breath with mine. The other thing, too, is I could be totally wrong about Navy Blue and his father and all this. I mean, this could all just be a character. And I haven't really taken on that perspective because I'm having such a hard time anyway. Trying to keep the perspective of a character is beyond my mental capacity. Exercise of depth bereft is mandatory. The allegory often is detested by the wrath of glory. I just can't imagine that I had it sorted. Magic ordnance, detachment from the floor. I lift the latch, felt it all attack. The tragedy, it's torturous. Foreign borders where I tore me out the fortified. Coordinates lie ahead where everybody born to die. Tell me, are you sure of it? Work too hard to live in vain, so I refrain to forfeit it. Yeah, I have no idea. No idea. I like the production choice. The production choice was very in line with Ka and his style. Especially that felt like it was right off of Honor Killed the Samurai, Circa. Let's keep going. Yeah, this is 11. If God Had Legs. Jason Wool and Faram Irfan are the are the producers here. Here's track 11. If God Had Legs.
Say not I have found the truth, but rather I have found a truth. Say not I have found the path of the soul. Say rather I have met the soul walking upon my path. For the soul walks upon all paths. The soul walks not upon a line, neither does it grow like a reed. The soul unfolds itself like a lotus of countless petals.
Interesting.
In my case, self-harm brought peace. It was written on my face, I got a calm you can't breach. I reach for the stars, I'm a preacher of the bars. My guard let down, not a savior nor a martyr. Navy ball like Vince Carter. Honey dipping split decisions, I ain't begging for your pardon. Nigga, I'm an artist, I'm better than when I started. That's a given, met my limits when I nearly had departed. Free to figure from the stone, like the arms that I was carving in. Feelings I was harboring, festering. Mama said the loss is not a deficit, the depths of it. My heart is where the treasure sit. I'ma play the back like Gary Neville did. Said it is. I got demons I ain't letting in, floating on the surface. Have you ever seen a feather swim? Niggas been marked since the first day ever, man. I ain't going back or going deeper than I ever went. The levels that I never been. True feels, too willed like I was peddling. Life is but a will, and death is just a genesis. Don't cry at my grave is what my brother up in heaven said. I am not there, I didn't die. My
it was his brother.
Put me back together, I will rise up out the depths again. Surrender is an empath, receiver of the messages. Heaven sent, dare to ask the giver if he ever bled.
It was his brother that died. Because he talked about that before. I can't believe I forgot about that. It was his brother. It was his brother's funeral. I'm not going to be able to find the lyrics. So the funeral was his brother. The void was in his father's eyes. And that makes more sense. Shit. Now I want to like take this whole album apart and listen to it again. I don't even remember what song it was. Damn it. Oh, here we go. It was Aegis. We seen him dead when we was only children. Know the feeling all too well, or know the feeling way too well. Age of 5 is when I was distilling. Casket at my eyes was lifted to its height and through the ceiling seen a spirit fly. Will I wither or will I arise and be the void to fill the void in father's eyes? So it was not his dad's funeral. It was his brother's funeral. In my case, self-harm brought peace. It was written on my face. I got a calm you can't breach. I reach for the stars. I'm a preacher of the bars. My guard let down. Not a savior, not a martyr. Navy ball like Vince Carter. Honey dipping. Split decisions. I ain't begging for your pardon. I'm an artist. I'm better than when I started. That's a given. Met my limits when I nearly had departed. I feel like all the stuff that doesn't make sense earlier is all like coming in now. It's like all coming into focus. I love this next line. It's kind of hard, but I love it at the same time. Free the figure from the stone like the arms that I was carving. That's brutal but beautiful. You know, this idea of carving yourself out of this stone. So there's a picture I remember seeing years ago, and it was a sculpture, and it was about weight loss. And it was, the sculpture was basically the torso person was thin, and they were chiseling off basically the excess weight. And so it was such a beautiful sculpture because it was like somebody freeing themselves from their own prison type of thing. And that's one of the reasons why I like that line so much, but also how he ties it into the self-harm and stuff. So it's a hard line, but it's really well done. Feelings I was harboring, festering. Mama said loss is not a deficit. The depths of it, my heart is where the treasures sit. Don't cry at my grave is what my brother up in heaven said. I'm not there, I didn't die in my foreverness. I'm not there, I didn't die. Put me back together, I will rise up out the depths again. Surrender is an empath, receiver of the messages heaven sent. Dare to ask the giver if he ever bled. Let's keep going. I haven't finished the song and I forgot that I paused halfway through. Although I guess that was pretty much the lyrics.
If God had legs like the trunks of the trees, and the feet were the roots as they sunk into beneath. If my eyes couldn't see and my lungs couldn't breathe, if my heart didn't beat and I was freed from the grasp of my grief, I was gasping for air and something lasting to keep. Grandma said I was his heir, another path to repeat. Seen his spirit on the stairs and understood what living means.
Interesting.
Your hearts know in silence the secrets of the days and the nights, but your ears thirst for the sound of your heart's knowledge. You would know in words that which you have always known in thought. You would touch with your fingers the naked body of your dreams, and it is well you should. The hidden wellspring of your soul must needs rise and run murmuring to the sea, and the treasure of your infinite depths would be revealed to your eyes. But that there be no scales to weigh your unknown treasure, and seek not the depths of your knowledge with staff or sounding line. For self is a sea, boundless and measureless.
Self is a sea. The chorus. If God had legs like the trunks of the trees and the feet were the roots as they sunk into beneath, if my eyes couldn't see and my lungs couldn't breathe and my heart couldn't beat and I was freed from the grasp of my grief, I was gasping for air with something lasting to keep. Grandma said I was his heir. Another path to repeat. Maybe it was his... No, I don't know. Seen a spirit on the stairs and understood what living means. I don't know. That can mean a lot right there. I mean, he's talking about his brother here, but like... with heir, I think of father... grandfather, that kind of a thing, especially if grandma's saying it. I don't know. Good song. This is actually kind of an incredible album. I mean, Navy Blue has always left me impressed. And this one's really striking me more so because it felt all so random and chaotic, but it's all swirling together now into a clearer picture. So let's go to 12, which is called Next Life. This one's short. It's under 2 minutes. Producer is Shungu. Here's 12, Next Life.
We must not say no to our
It's navy blue to none other. Spent days praying for his son's mother. Live, learn just to uncover what was hidden in the ridicule of self-loving. My sister been a self-loather. Like me, lead the way and show her I'm sober. Dealing with the feelings enough times over. Hold her cry closer, better let it go. I couldn't try closure, I let the door close. Just to dive lower than I ever go. Moving on the path slower, let the treasure glow.
I don't like the hum. I don't like the hum. I like the song, I don't like the hum.
Sitting in it so alone, it's all partial. I couldn't get it all gone. I'm King Arthur, pulled a sword out of stone. Trying to feel it all, cause seeds gotta grow too. I can see it all, cause the peak got a view. It was me involved. I revolve around the truth and now I keep calm. In the midst of my abuse, I let the tree fall and expose my roots. I was led wrong, but I don't blame you. Like, why wouldn't I? It just don't seem right. I was just a youth. Tears welling in my eyes, seen him in a suit. Farewells and goodbyes, but I needed you. See you in the next life.
Ooh, this is creepy as fuck right here. Navy Blue than another spent days praying for his son's mother. Live, learn just to uncover what was hidden in the ridicule of self-loving. My sister been a self-loather, like me, lead the way, sure I'm sober, dealing with the feelings enough times over. Hold the cry closer, better let it go. I couldn't try closure. I let the door close, just to dive lower than I ever go. Moving on the path slower, let the treasure glow. There I found a part of me that I had never known. My apartment, sitting in it, so alone. It's all partial. I couldn't get it all gone. I'm King Arthur. Pull the sword out of the stone. Let's click this. Yeah. So it explains what King Arthur is, but it doesn't explain the reference. Like, I understand the reference and that I know what King Arthur is, but I don't understand how that fits into the context of what we're saying here. Like King Arthur, pull the sword out of the stone. Try and feel it all, because seeds got to grow too. I can see it all because the peak got a view. It was me involved. I revolve around the truth, which makes me think of the orbiting the border line earlier. Now I keep calm in the midst of my abuse. I let the tree fall and expose my roots, which makes me think of the previous song, If God Had Legs, and the whole chorus at the end. I was led wrong, but I don't blame you. Like, why wouldn't I? We just don't seem right. I was just a you. Tears well into my eyes. Seen him in a suit. Farewells and goodbyes. But I needed you. See you in the next life. And this annotation is just talking about, yeah, people wear fancy clothes when they go to a funeral. So something going on with his sister there, too. I'm kind of mumbling and I'm putting my hand over my mouth. I shouldn't be doing that. I'm too involved to pay attention to what I'm actually doing right now. Like I'm so absorbed. I'm not paying attention to the fact that I'm doing a bad job of speaking into a microphone, clearly. Let's keep going. The Birth of Medicine, produced by Shungu. This is 13. Drop in. Neat little opener.
The birth of medicine, physical form, but the spirit exceeds the skeleton. What you gain when you're received is deemed a genesis, because to heal what is revealed is how we've never been. I'm trying to level up. I rose from out the dusk, was dealt 1,000 lows to know I feel 1,000 ups. 2001. Can take me back to where I wasn't numb. I'm not his only son. I'm not the only one who feel the way I do. Rebuked abuse for just a few to view what I have done. Cause who you come from came from someone we get doubled up. To live and die and claim a place within the crust. Spot the crux. I know the story of a dying son. The resurrection. My brother tomb don't have a headstone. It's just a cross. What sits across of my reflection. Heaven is a sacred section. Until I make it there, I'll be prepared for your protection. And whoever gets it, whatever we left with, when they make the exit, we'll have to do it, we'll have to move in that direction. Can't wear a shroud, I'll make him proud. I wear his blessings to the gates. I bore the weight, I've taken stake where my breath is. Live and let it live. I'm proud to be alive. When I left me for dead, I couldn't see inside. My heart did open up. I closed my teary eyes. Said this is close enough. And now I must decide. Is this who I want to be? And now I praise the transmutation of my grief. Who I am is not who I'm perceived to be. I prayed for peace and went to war with my dis-ease. I can set me free, but I can't set you free. Set me free. Set us free. Is this who I want to be?
Yeah. It's all coming together.
Praise the transmutation of my grief. Who I am is not who I'm perceived to be.
It's all coming together.
I prayed for peace and went to war with my dis-ease. I can set me free, but I can't set you free. Set me free. Set us free.
Beautiful song. Beautiful song. It's all coming together now. It's all coming together. The birth of medicine, physical form, but the spirit exceeds the skeleton. I love that. What you gain when you're received is demogenesis. Because to heal what is revealed is how we've never been. I'm trying to level up. Arose from out the dusk. Was dealt 1,000 lows to know I fill 1,000 ups. 2001 can take me back to where I was at numb. I'm not his only son. So again, this has got to be his brother that died. I'm not the only one who feel the way I do. Rebuked abuse for just a few to view what I have done. Because who you come from came from someone we get doubled up. I see, I keep thinking his brother, but then I think of his grandfather too. Maybe it's both. Who knows? To live and die and claim a place within the crust, spot the crux. I know the story of a dying son. The resurrection. My brother tomb don't have a headstone, it's just a cross. What sits across from my reflection. Heaven is a sacred section. Until I make it there, I'll be prepared for your protection. And whoever gets it, whatever we left with, when they make the exit, we'll have to move in that direction. Can't wear a shroud, I'll make him proud. I'll wear his blessing to the gates. I bore the weight, I taken the steps where my breath is. Living, I feel like they wrote the lyrics wrong here. Living, let live. Anyway, I'm proud to be alive. When I left me for dead, I couldn't see inside. My heart did open up. I closed my teary eyes, said, this is close enough, and now I must decide. So basically that ending section right there, he got so far along in this self-harm and approaching suicide and what have you that he basically like, okay, I got to go one way or the other, right? And so that's what he's talking about here. You know, I can't wear a shroud. I'll make him proud. I'll wear his blessing to the gates. I bore the way to taking the steps where my breath is. Proud to be alive. When I left me for dead. And so really it seems like this whole bit of, you know, assuming I have it, if I have it right, but let's just go conceptually, right? You see your brother die at 5 years old and it just fucks you up big time. And you see how it screws up your parents, it screws up your sister, right? All this kind of stuff. And then you spiral with the golden ratio, of course. You spiral and you get close to your own end and you realize, you know, one way or the other, but instead of just, you know, pulling the plug, basically, no, I'm going to live for my brother. I'm going to live for my brother. I'll carry this. I'll make him proud. And, you know, what's interesting, too, you know, my brother's tomb doesn't have a headstone. It's just a cross. What sits across from my reflection? In reflection, I feel like it's a visual thing, but also like thinking about it, but also it's your brother, so it probably looks like you. That's a bit of a reflection, you know. But let's go to the chorus here. Is this who I want to be? And now I praise the transmutation of my grief. Who I am is not who I'm perceived to be. I prayed for peace and went to war with my disease. And then this is great. I can set me free, but I can't set you free. Set me free, set us free. But here's the whole, like, this is the surrender, right? I can't set you free, but I can set me free by letting all of this go. And by letting all of this go, I kind of let both of it. I set both of us free. Because in a way, it's like what he's saying here, Navy Blue, is by clinging to this, I'm also like clinging to my own brother. And so my brother can't be free because I won't let this go in a way. And I wonder if that touches back on, you know, seeing a spirit at the top of the steps. You know, where the fuck was that? That was Next Life, right? I think. I can't remember now. It was somewhere. But I wonder if it's a concept of just the tighter I cling to this thing, not only do I entrap myself, but I entrap the memory of my own brother. So he can't go either. He can't let go either because I'm clinging to it. I said, this is close enough, and now I must decide. So there's 2 songs left, but the last song is called a bonus track. And so I'm going to say 14, which is this one, which is Bleeding Scarlet. I'm going to say this is the last for the album. And then the last song is just literally a bonus track like it's displayed on Spotify here. So here's 14. It's produced by Navy Blue. It's called Bleeding Scarlet. Drop it in.
Thicken on this path will make my way regardless. I have risen, I disrupt the hardship, God's gift. Shuffle the deck and get the cards split. Ochosi bow and arrow stretching at the target. I crack a smile though my stoicism rather harmless. Hard to fall into the pit and get myself about it. A living horror in these borders, couldn't live without them. Quintessential consequences were the outcome. The crown runs red, birthing bloodshed. Will the moon stand still when the sun sets? My lungs take breath and breathe gratitude. Hung heads in deceit, degrees and latitude. Clear skies, fear died with the Baton Rouge. My spirit lingered in that hollow tomb. Praise the vase to hold the vessel, but my heart a tool. Life amazing and amusing, what to make of what is ruined. A solution, music echoed in the ruins. Brewing, seething, stewing. A pair of eyes, a set of feet, free on 2 ends. Can only claim I'm too human to efface or to erase. That's the question that I'm bearing. What I bore was such a nuisance. I can't wear it, can't worry, can't accommodate my daily tariff. I'm just trying to make it through. Cause if I wake, then I can't turn away in spite. I gotta learn, I know the burning will suffice. Double water, every cup of rice. Sons and daughters fall from such a height. I don't question God, I know it's only right. On a quest of loss, it found me in the light. Fell in the warmth of arms, I've fallen through the ice. Not a feather harmed, wings are for the flight. Every blessed scar healed to serve a life. My life, my story, my plight, my glory. My knife, my blood, my fight for my love. My life, my story, my plight, my glory. My knife, my blood, my fight for my love. My life, my story, my plight, my glory. My knife, my blood, my fight for my love. My life, my story, my plight, my glory.
It's beautiful. It's heartbreaking.
My knife, my blood, my fight for my love. My life, my story, my plight, my glory. My knife, my blood, my fight for my love. My life, my story, my plight, my glory. My knife, my blood, my fight for my love.
This feeling sprang up of itself, organically, automatically, like the rotting hull of a seed forming the soil in which it must grow again. And under and above it all, there was the fear of death, before which he was naked and without defense. He had to go forward and meet his end, like any other living thing upon the earth.
I don't really know what to say about that one, man. I just kind of soaking in it right now. Navy blue, but I'm bleeding scarlet. Blood thickening on this path. Will make my way regardless. I have risen. I disrupt the hardship. God's gift. Shuffle the deck and get the cards split. I chose the bow and arrow, stretching out the target. I crack a smile, though my stoicism was rather harmless. Hard to fall into the pit and get myself out of it. It says about it, but I think he said up out of it. Up out it. Like up out it. I live in horror in these borders. Couldn't live without them. Quintessential consequences were the outcome. The crown runs red. Birth and bloodshed. Oh, the moon stands still when the sun sets. My lungs take breath and breathe gratitude. Hung heads in deceit. Degrees in latitude. Clear skies. Fear died with the Baton Rouge. My spirit lingered in that hollow tomb. Praise the vase to hold the vessel, but my heart a tomb. Life amazing and amusing. What to make of what is ruined? A solution. Music echoed in the ruins. Brewing, seething, stewing. A pair of eyes, a set of feet. Free on two ends. Can only claim I'm too human. To efface or to erase, that's the question that I'm bearing. What I bore was such a nuisance. I can't wear it, can't worry, can't accommodate my daily tariff. I'm just trying to make it through. Because if I wake, then I can't turn away in spite. I gotta learn, I know the burning will suffice. Double water every cup of rice. Sons and daughters fall from such a height. I don't question God, I know it's only right. On a quest of loss, I found me in the light. Fell in the warmth of arms. I'm falling through the ice. Not a feather harmed, wings are for flight. Every blessed scar healed to serve a life. I feel like not a feather harmed, wings are for the flight is a reference back to one of the songs where there's heal my wings, please heal my broken wings. And then the chorus, I don't think I can repeat because I'll probably just start crying. But man, this guy fucking went through it. We went through it. A solution. Music echoed in the ruins. A solution. Good old music. I don't really know what to say. There's one more song. It's called a bonus track. It's called F.E.A.R, but it's F.E.A.R. Let's just drop in. My brain's kind of fried. I didn't realize it's already been over 2 hours. 45-minute album. Over 2 hours. Let's drop into F.E.A.R. Produced by Navy Blue. Track 15.
I hope this summer never ends. We'll plummet again and again to suffer immensely. I ain't even trying to fight, but please remember me. Don't you forget that every spliff was but a remedy. How can you resist me? You was sifting through your memories. I told you breathe, I gave you ease, I gave you everything. I'm your disease, I'm who you believe to be your enemy. I'm the proof, I hate to see you reassembling. I got you high when you was low, I spun your head around. Every obstacle perceived, you looked at me to get around it. Not a thank you, not a nothing, you just sat in silence. I took your voice, I gave you words for you to speak about it. I put that shroud upon your back, you couldn't be without it. I parted seas of grief and changed the way a need you sounded. But she was scared, you ain't prepared for what you think you found. Cause I was there when you were asleep and bleeding on the ground. I was there when you were
beautiful
woke.
production.
I said I need it now. I was with you when the fucking issues weighed 1,000 pounds. I would walk 1,000 miles just to see you hurt again. I hate to see you grow. I hope you know that I'm a perfect friend. I circled that unearthly win so you ain't have to search within and find me. Untimely my departure. I met you when you was only 10. That first dance was romantic. I saw you close your eyes and hold me in your hands. Just to slip away. I don't deserve this, like it or not, I'm here to stay. I am at your service. I am at your service. Fear is forgetting everything and running. I can't forget you, every tear is felt, no need for numbing. That subtle peace in which I seek is peaking at the summit. As I descend, I hope to mend the heart of who I'm loving. Fear It's forgetting everything and running. I can't forget you, every tear is felt, no need for numbing. That subtle peace in which I seek is peaking at the summit. As I descend, I hope to mend the heart of who I'm loving. Fear.
I don't understand which perspective this song is written from. Although I guess maybe it's right there. It's written right in front of me. I'm your disease. I'm who you believe to be your enemy. But I wonder if, you know, and the song's called, of course, is called F.E.A.R. And then they met when they were 10. Untimely my departure, I met you when I was only 10. The first dance was romantic. I saw you close your eyes. I held me in your hands. Just slip away, I don't deserve this. So I wonder if this is just the perspective of his own fear. I wonder if 10 is when Navy Blue started going through all this shit. I part the seas of grief and change the way Anidra sounded. She was scared. You ain't prepared for what you think you found. Because I was there when you were asleep and bleeding on the ground. I was there when you awoke and said, I need it now. I was with you when the fucking issues weighed 1,000 pounds. I would walk 1,000 miles just to see you hurt again. I hate to see you grow. I hope you know that I'm a perfect friend. So it's got, I think it is written from the perspective of his own fear. Like this is his fear talking to him. Will plummet again and again to suffer immensely. Well, I don't know what to say. I feel like I understood some of it. I certainly felt some of it. But I can't sit here and give you a concise explanation of what I just experienced, honestly. Which maybe in its own way is a compliment. Navy Blue's something else, man. He's something else. Something else. I'm happy that it seems like he's worked through all this stuff that's happened. I hope that remains true going forward. Yeah, I'm kind of just... Because it really does, towards the end, man, those last few songs, really, things start kind of tying together. Everything starts making sense, which is really odd given how challenging it is to make sense of his lyrics, of how he writes and what he says. And I'm sure there's plenty of you that understood, you know, more of what's being said than I did. But it's a lot to take in on one listen, first listen. It's a lot to take in. Yeah, okay. I feel like I just woke up from like a weird dream or something, man, honestly. Like snapping out of it. Yeah. Yeah. And the production, too, I mean, just kind of everything. Okay. Shortest closing thoughts ever? I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. It's beautiful. It's heartbreaking. Yeah. Okay. Okay, well, there you go. There's the new Navy Blue album. Hang in there, y'all. Hang in there. Hang in there. Get to that. You get to the edge of that cliff with all your fears. Let it fly. The fear. Throw it all over the edge. Don't throw yourself over.